This is a general discussion video of Clash Royale. This is what's up, guys. This is your boy PTS. Welcome, and I'm back for another vlog. It's been a bit, but anyway. But today's general discussion is going to be. No, I can't add gameplay because I don't know how to. Sorry, I'm stupid. My general discussion is this past balance change. The March balance update, which we saw a 13% nerf to Barbarian's health, and yet another Barbarian was added, making each Barbarian 5 elixir compared worth 1 elixir per Barbarian, and literally having was it 790 like 700 man. 790. Lily's like if they were to all target a single unit, they would have literally more. They have more DPS than the minion horde, and that is saying something. And they died a fireball. They died a mini packet. They died the same level poison. Well, they died of poison. They died of poison. So they're insane bait. They have mad DPS and nerfs rocket and lightning, which they're already weak as it is, which is already discussed by Bailey up. Clash Royale, go ahead and check him out. That's his general discussion is on the matter of barbarians, but more of my discussion is going to be on the spawn delay of the swarms, which so far has afflicted rascals, main horde, bats, barbarians, goblin gang, and yeah, rascals, barbarians, bats, goblin gang, and main horde. Which, if you didn't know, it's pretty much every unit in the swarm. It infected mostly main horde, so give your opponent more time to your opponent more time to spell away those or give something to kill those minions before they get their 504 DPS straight onto whatever unit, whatever tank or hog rider they played them on. Your opponent played on. But Supercell decided to go forth and then added to rascals, which is not that big of a deal since there's only 3 years. You're not gonna notice much of a difference. It actually buffs them in the run race, and the fact it gives, since the spawn delay actually lets them separate, so splash attack they actually counter splash it's quite better actually. But maybe it's a bit of a buff and nerf. But bats in effect impact the most, and so did Goblin Gang, because in fact and honestly, really think about it, Goblin Gang, it actually buffed them a slight bit as well, so the fact that since each melee goblin spawns different, like each different goblin spawns 0.15 seconds after the first one spawned. So pretty much at most it will be the last goblin will spawn at 1.6 seconds compared to before they would all spawn at once. It actually buffs these swarms that attack that are both melee and air. So buffs rascals and also buffs goblin gangs. In fact, it gives them time to separate, so countering splash units is actually a little bit easier. But like I said, it's also a nerf in the fact that each one spawns differently. They won't move until they spawn in, so they're deployed. So, but in my general view, I definitely do think that I think the most deserving would have been barbarians and main horde. I really did not think that rascals, goblin gang, and the bats deserved it. Maybe the bats, I don't know. Bats, yeah, bats kind of need that one as well, because 335 DPS every 1.1 seconds is, yeah, that's quite a bit. Now it just makes bats look like it pretty much made skeletons look like bats. It's like it really nerfed them. It nerfed them hard. Skeletons were good when they had the 4 skeleton. Bats were good when they deployed all at once. But I can see why they did it. It's the fact that they don't, because each because I mean, each of the swarms that there were individually the deploy time of each swarm was nerfed. It impacted DPS because like let's say for Goblin Gang for example, or bats for example, since before this they would instantly, once they all spawned in, they would all target. If they all targeted one unit, it would be 335 damage in total on that one unit, which is more than a fireball. Well, actually, no, it's less than a fireball, but it's more than it's more than arrows. It's more of a it's practically fireball damage on a unit. But bats were only good for zap bait, and which practically no one plays anymore. Since you really see anybody play skeleton barrel, because honestly the death damage it's bad. I mean, I honestly think they really just should buff the move speed to make it like as fast as Baby Dragon, just to give it a lot more threatening in its own right. Since it's because of the fact that it's basically what happens when you mix a witch and a balloon. Yeah, it's not that good. Even for 3 elixir, it's not that good. Balloon's way better. Does a lot more damage. It moves slower, but it's a lot tankier, and it's a lot more synergies, and honestly, just better. It's just better in every way.
Orange juice.
What's up, everyone? It's OJ. We are going to be playing
in its own right, but in every single way. But honestly, in my general view, I definitely don't think the Rascals and Goblin game deserved it. It's in the fact that the Rascals they do quite a bit, but they are extreme. Rascals are really not that good card. Are really not that good. In Deploy Time Nerf, it nerfs them more than it does buff them. Because I mean, like with the girls, like they're still technically hugging the boy. The boy deploys first, but he moves extremely slow. So basically, something like a wizard, if you deployed Rascals trying to defend a wizard, the wizard's gonna splash onto the girls and kill them before they even deploy, which is kind of stupid if you ask me. But not much you can do there. But my general view, barbarians are extremely, they are good. They definitely are probably gonna break the game. And it's kind of weird how Supercell said they don't want fireball bait, and yet they go ahead and buff barbarians to die to a fireball at the same level, and have insane DPS, which is more than the mean horde, and they block as good as a skeleton army. Yeah, that's kind of a problem there, is their Supercell. Now, I mean, if we were to... Now, for thinking... And honestly, and it makes barbarians no more better than royal recruits, because of what type of unit they are. You can split them in the back, 3-2 on either side. And that's the thing with... And the same thing with recruits. You can split them. They're a global unit. Technically, you can't pressure one side. And I honestly think recruits deserve that deploy time nerf more than the deploy time thing changed compared to also stuff like the Goblin game Rascals, like I said before. It's just because right now, I mean, recruits don't see much play anymore, but they are strong. Like Royal Giants levels, like a Royal Giant Elite Barbarian level strong. Okay, that's probably a bit too over exaggerating, but they are toxic though. It is extremely toxic. And it just adds to the split lane archetype, which practically dominates. Dominates every other archetype in its own right. I mean, yeah, beatdown, and Psycho Beatdown and Split are probably the only two. Are mostly the 3 you see. Mortar you barely see. Expo is practically an oasis in the desert. You're never gonna see it. You have a 1 in a million chance of seeing it. So honestly, I definitely do think that that Supercell needs to change it to Bats, Gang, and Rascals. Well, mainly to Gang and Rascals. Bats, that's I guess so, but Bats were already pretty strong as it was anyway. We're pretty good as it was anyway, so. I definitely do think they need to add that deploy time nerf onto the recruits just to make sure they don't be overly powered. Aren't overly powered, so. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you dudes in the next video. See ya.